Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. I'm going to hopefully finish up with this Traveller's Notebook journal this morning. That's my plan. Whether I get there or not is another matter. So I've written myself a list of things that I need to do in it. So that will hopefully enable me to get through and do what I need to do. So this one's going to be fairly simple, fairly plain. As much as I'd love to go to town on it, I just can't do that because of what it's going to be used for. But I do have some things I want to add into it to finish it off. So I've gone through and made myself little notes and put things on pages to cut down some of the thinking time during the video. Right, so we're just going to crack on with this, and I'm filming on my new camera. I've just got to show this, sorry, new phone that my husband bought me, early birthday present. So it's 3.5 weeks till my birthday, but he came home with it, not yesterday but the day before, and surprised me with it. So that's the second early birthday present I've had from my husband, so he better not buy me anything else on my actual birthday. And I'm half expecting he will do something. Right, this is a straight corner top pocket, and I did a video on making these. So this is the simplest style of the ones that I do. The idea I came up with, this is just the straight one instead of the angled pockets. But I thought I would just include that here, just to add some more at the top of the page. So it's glued together at the top and folded on this side, so it's not glued there. And I'm going to glue, this could be tricky, glue it onto my page. So I've got to think about how it goes. It's got a little journaling card on this side and just an empty pocket on that side. So I'm going to leave that pocket empty, and I may or may not take this one out to leave space for the ephemera. So I'm just going to glue on these open sides, and I'm just going to leave the bottom open in case you would like to tuck something up underneath it. Right, now I've got to try and get this on here without smearing glue everywhere. That's going to be the trick, and something I hadn't really thought about. Oops, I know I'm just smearing glue everywhere, so it may not work as a up tuck. But once it's all dry, we'll be able to work out whether it is still open or not, or whether I actually got glue all the way across the page when I was sliding the pocket on. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much if the tuck is closed, because there's still two pockets. Right, so that's the first thing. This is where having pre-made ephemera is so helpful. Right, I'm going to put an envelope on there, but I'm going to leave that for a little bit. I'm going to pop a belly band on this page, which is the back of the map. And I found this cute illustration of a boy with a huge, massive suitcase that he can barely lift, out of a children's encyclopedia, or First Dictionary actually, First Dictionary. And I've got another snippet of this that I used for the cover that I'm just going to cut down a little bit. So just measure for the height of my page first. Oops, that edge doesn't appear to be straight. That's alright, it's close enough. I'm just going to mark it with pencil and trim it across there. So how's everyone today? Surviving the winter ills and chills and temperatures, and it's been so wet, so wet. Yesterday I went with my husband to his work and hung out the day there, and we crossed over a little river not far from here. It's about 5 minutes drive on the way to his work, and normally it's, well, quite often it's dry. It was so full and angry yesterday morning, but I was pleased to see it had dropped a bit by the time we came home last night. And then I was surprised this morning to hear rain again. So it's just super, super wet. Now you do need to make sure it's wide enough to fit my cute little image on. So I won't matter if I have to trim a little bit off the image, but I don't want to lose much of it. So I'm just going to give that a trim there, and it's just going to be really simple belly band. I'm not going to put lace or anything on it to decorate it, which will bulk up the journal. So just give it a measure there, yep, and sticks out a little bit, but I'm not even going to have to trim it because it's so minor that it hangs over. And oops, sorry about my creaky chair. I'm just reaching for my old hymnal of music paper to put a bit of that behind him. I'm just going to tear off the excess around. You've seen me do this before if you've watched my videos. I'm just tearing off, oops, this paper tears perfectly straight one way, or next to perfectly, and then when you tear vertically it just goes all over the place. It's quite funny, but I don't mind. A little bit of randomness never hurt anybody. Right, and I just want a strip of it. I do have some of this in my scraps bag, but rather than take time digging for it, I am just going to grab a new piece and create more scraps. And I just knocked the camera, didn't I? Sorry about that. Right, I'm just going to pop that there. I'm going to bring my glue book over because it seems to be super close to the tripod for the camera. I call it a camera, it's a phone. I don't know why I keep calling it a camera. But you know what I mean. It's because I'm using it to film on, aren't I? So it's a camera. So it's going to be a dedicated recording device. So I'm not actually going to use it as a phone at all. So I've got heaps and heaps of memory on it. Like my phone that I was recording on, how much? 32 gigs, I think, the memory. And this new phone has got 128 gig. So like I'm super excited to see how it handles videoing, the quality, and not having to muck around as much afterwards and stitching. I don't know if I'll still have to stitch, I may do, which is fine. But you know, being able to have the space on the phone to do that processing, unlike some of my videos which I've had to upload in 2 parts because my phone didn't have enough memory to stitch them together. And that's super frustrating. So I'm really excited how this new phone's going to work out. Super cool. My husband is just awesome. He's so kind to me. Right, I just glue that down there and we'll have a belly band. So on my birthday, or might not be on my birthday, it might be the Friday beforehand. My birthday's on a Monday. Oops, that wasn't good. On a Monday, and my husband's taking the Friday before and the Monday off, so we're going to have a long weekend. So there's a shop I want to go to. It's called Creative Junk, and you just have a bag like a shopping bag and you fill it for a set price with whatever you want. And so there's all sorts of fun things. My friend Lydia at February and June, she also goes there, and it's fabulous. And I haven't been in well over a year since I last went there, and I'm just itching to go. So that's one of the things I want to do for my birthday, is go to Creative Junk. So super looking forward to that. Right, I'm also going to put a little bit of fabric on here. I know I was talking about not making it too thick, but I've got these little stamped words on fabric. So I'm thinking of just placing this. It says memories. It's not a great stamp, but it is still readable. I'm always disappointed when I use it because it's not as clear as what I would hope. I'm just going to stick it on the top there, and I'm going to use the premium craft glue for this. It's the one I like to use for fabric. So it does a really good job and it doesn't show through, whereas I find the tacky glue can show through. I mean, this will show through on really thin fabrics or like organza and things, but nowhere near as much as what the tacky or PVA type glues will. Okay, so just put that little fabric bit there, and so it's not overly weighting it up because it's just a little snippet. Right, so we're cracking things. I'm just gonna tick them off my list so I know, can keep track of what I've done or haven't done. I didn't even write that top pocket on my list. That's funny. Right, this envelope here, I've got this wee envelope. It's just a brand new envelope that I was given from a place that had a garage sale, and then they were just getting rid of stuff that they didn't want the day after the garage sale, and I didn't see the garage sale or any notice about it until the day after. So my husband and I whipped down and got a whole heap of books. Now, do I want to make this a little tuck spot? I might make this a little tuck spot as well. No, I can't because there's actually adhesive on the flap of the envelope. So I won't make it a tuck. So I'm going to make it a flip. So yes, it goes on that side. Actually, I think I did that around the wrong way. I'm going to cover up the fish, but it's too late now. I was going to have it flip open so you could still see the fish, but I've covered him. Poor fishy. Never mind, it'll be fine. And instead I might put a little cat decoration on the flap. How about that? And then we perhaps won't notice the headless fish. And then that's just a little writing strip as well. So I'm just going to glue the cat down there. So what's everybody up to? What have you got on your creative desk? You've got any projects on the go at the moment? Are you in between? Are you working on some ephemera? Doing some journaling? I'd love to know what you're all up to. Actually, I'm going to just put him on the angle like he's sitting on the edge of the envelope. Just like that. I think that's cute. Oops, mop up that excess glue. Seem to always get excess glue. So I'm already looking forward to my next project and thinking about what it's going to be. I've got a journal I still need to finish up, a boho one. I thought it was finished, and then I would flip through and think, still need to do some more things. But I think I'm finally getting close. So I might finish up of that on camera possibly, or I might just go ahead and then do a flip through once it's finished. Okay, so something on this side. Now I do have those book images. So there's the Northern Hemisphere and then there's these world maps. Thinking, because this is a good surface, maybe we'll put that one there. So I should have cut this out beforehand, shouldn't I? Never mind, can't prepare everything. So I'm gonna take off the words and glue them on separately, like I did with the Southern Hemisphere, if you remember, if you watched that video. Oops. So I hope you're enjoying this series on this journal. I kind of feel like it's not a true representation in some respects because I can't, you know, do the full decorating that I would like to. But it's a different style of journal, and I think there's value in seeing different styles, and that they don't all have to be absolutely jam-packed full of ephemera or textures. They're super lovely, but I'm actually finding my style seems to be a lot cleaner, and I love looking, and I'd love to own the journals that people do that are just so textural and stuffed with fabrics and lace and trims and pockets and everything. But as much as I try and do that, I seem to be finding that my style is clean. And that's the only way I can describe it, really. Less full, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's just my observation recently. Break there. My pottle for my rubbish is small, so anything long I've got to break in half so it fits in my pottle. Right. I am going to stick the words sideways, just because I think that it's an interesting little touch. There we go, and I want to get that down so I don't end up losing it and think it's a bit of rubbish or something. Now where'd my music paper go? Do I want a bit of that? Oh, I quite like that harmony. It says it's quite a nice little word to have in there. Oops, I think my glue page is getting a bit sticky. I was a bit worried this music paper was going to tear as I lifted it, but I managed to get it okay. Yeah, so if there's anything you'd like to see me do, let me know. If there's a project you want, or yeah, just let me know if there's something you'd like to see. And if I don't know how to do it, I can research it and find out and learn it, because I love learning. And learning's great. You never stop learning, or you never should stop learning, because we can never know everything. And there's so much in the journaling world, in the crafting world, the papercraft world. There's so much you can do. I'm also doing a journal of stitchery too, which is fun. So the second prompt is out for that, and I'll show that at some point. Maybe when I've done a few pages. It's 2 prompts a month, and then a feature item as well. So I've done my first page, I've got a fabric tag to do, and I've got the second prompt for this month to do. Super excited to get into that as well. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that for journaling space. And then so there's the pocket there to tuck things into, and there will be adhesive here. So I'm just going to glue that down properly, just so it doesn't create any problems with sticking, if it happens to lift, sticking things that shouldn't be stuck together. There we go, so there's just a little pocket, so plenty of writing space there as well. Very cool, we are getting through my list. Okay, I have this, we call them confectionery bags here in New Zealand. It's a little paper, slightly waxy bag, very thin. It's called confectionery bag because it's typically what we get lolly mixtures in. So a dairy or a shop will put together a mix of different lollies. Used to be able to get a bag for 20 cents when I was a child, but now I don't think they do any for under $1. Possibly maybe even more than that. But I bought this pack of them, and this bag, this is the only size I have of it. They do come in different sizes, but this is the only one I have, and it's too wide to fit on my page. So I thought if I create a little bit of a gusset, so folding over the edges and gluing those edges to the page rather than gluing them down to itself, then I can create a pocket in the back and in the bag itself. So I thought that was super fun. Now I didn't have a page sorted out to put it on, so I shall have to have a quick wee flip through to find one. Trying to make sure things are balanced between the back and the front. No, that doesn't work there. I've got something there. Let's go back to the front and have another look. I haven't done a count up recently to see. Maybe if I pop it there. See, there's this little dark matte part on this brown paper bag, which I didn't realise, which could make writing difficult if it's, you know, a bit of grease or oil or something. It won't be as easy to write on. So if I glue that up the top, then writing space down the bottom and room to tuck things in the top. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to glue along the bottom here on that the gusset, the two sides that I've folded over, and glue that down first. And I haven't folded them evenly because that wasn't important to me, just make sure that it fits on the page. And then I'm going to glue down both of these folded over bits. Hopefully you can see this in camera. And then across the bottom and the middle so that things don't slide through. You could also do it as a belly band if you wanted. And then I'm going to pop it, a little bit of space at the top for anything that's a bit taller, so it's got room to poke out the top. Clean up that glue spillage and make sure it sticks down nicely. Give it a wee press for a moment. Right, and I haven't thought about decorations for this. I do have this little fabric, stamped fabric there. So I might put that down, but I want something under it, and I don't want music paper. I want something a little different. So maybe a bit of magazine, not magazine, sorry. Bit of dictionary, and I might see if there's a travel in here. Trampoline, transition might work, but let's look for a travel, there we go. I could put holiday in there too somewhere if I wanted. Tearing off the blank bit, and then it's got traveller underneath that one, so two for the price of one, travel and traveller, which won't fit. I'm just going to cut that edge because I don't want to rip into the words. I don't know why, it wouldn't have mattered, you still get the essence of it, but however. Okay, down about there. Because I am going to end up sticking that over top, and that's fine. So it's almost the weekend here. Hubby's coming home early tonight. He's got a doctor appointment to go to on the way home, so he's got to leave work early. So hopefully they're running to time and he'll get seen promptly. So he will actually get home early, because that'd be nice after a bit of late working a couple of days this week. Oops, stuck to my finger. Yeah, so he's we've got to get some wood from a place tomorrow, some firewood, until our supply can deliver some. Some friends are giving us some wood, and we'll pay them back when our load gets delivered, whenever that might be, to see us through the next couple of weeks, so that's good. And my husband's got a sermon to write, or a message to write for Sunday, because he's doing the message on Sunday to give our pastor a break. And yeah, I don't know what else we'll get up to. It's not supposed to be that warm. Not sure whether it's going to be raining or not, but quite possibly, so it might just be a quiet sort of weekend of watching movies or something. Do I want something up there? No, don't like it. Doesn't fit. Doesn't work for me. Do I want a cat? Come here, pussycat. Yep, I like that. I seem to be working in monotone at the moment, black and white. These cats were sent to me in Happy Mail, so yeah, I've only got them in black and I'm using them up, which is cool because I've actually had them for quite a while. So we've got 4 cats, so I do like cats, but this person also has 4 cats, so I definitely know she likes cats too. Here we go. I think that's cute. Right, so that one's done. Tick another thing off the list. Right, and we've done that. Okay. Right, I'm going to do a ribbon closure for this. Actually, before I do that, I need to do the spine. So I'm going to do lace on the spine of this journal to cover over the stitches and just to reinforce it a bit where the cord goes through, and because it's pretty. No, I haven't got lace anywhere else, I don't think. I've put it anywhere else. That's not very straight, so I'm just going to straighten up that edge. I can do it after I've glued it, but I'm just going to do it now. The other edge isn't straight, but I'll do that one. Yeah, so just a bit of lace down the spine, and lace rather than fabric, because it will be... Actually, do I want to wrap that around? Sorry, changing my thoughts. Maybe I'll wrap it round. I might leave excess at both ends. Right, I'm just going to close my tacky glue so it doesn't go hard, and grab the craft glue. Take off the bit that's dried on top. Yeah, it's all stuck to my fingers. And I'm just going to try and get the glue in the right place here, which is always a bit of a trick, especially when you're working with a scalloped lace, because it's not like just a straight line of glue. It's sort of in and out. You can always go in afterwards and grab the edge. Right, and just go up the middle as well. This is a very pretty lace. I picked it up online somewhere. So I've got more on the front, I think. Yes, more on the front than I have on the back. Sorry, more on the back than I have on the front. But that's not a problem. Not worried about it being even, because typically you won't lay your book flat, your journal flat, to look at it like that. And glue the other side, just trying to follow that scallop line as much as possible. Oops. And some glue. Like so. It's the trouble with gluing lace is it does come through and you end up with it all over your fingers. I'm just using my dry wet wipe to pat it down so I don't get such sticky fingers. A little glue goober there, trying to pick off. Yeah, that's pretty. I don't know if you can see it in camera because the cardstock is quite pale. Now, do I want to wrap it around or not? Okay, I've got that pocket there. No, I'm in two minds, guys. What should I do? Kind of like how it just protects the edge a little bit. That's not super necessary, but then I'm going to have problems with it gluing those first pages down. So no, I'm just going to trim it off after all that. And so I'll have some lace snippets to go on my scraps. I like cutting this way to run the edge of my scissors along the edge, and I find you get a cleaner cut. So when I'm sort of turning things around, that's what I'm doing to try, so I'm not cutting cat-handed, and I'm getting guidance to run my scissors along. If I tried doing it the other way, it would end up sticking out just a fraction, which to be honest is fine as well. So it did that. Right. So I just want that to dry before I fold it, because if I fold it now, it's going to pull the lace in, and then if you flatten it back out, it'll bunch up. So I'm just going to let that dry. I'm going to tick that off my list that I've done that. Right, the closure, which is what I was going to do before I remembered I needed to do the lace on the spine. I've got two ribbons out, and I wasn't sure which one I wanted to go with. Sorry about that noise of the cellophane. This is one I bought from China, and when I buy it, it normally comes on rolls. So I was super disappointed when this one arrived just like this. Like it's got a like a twisty tie around it, but it was all just like creased, and yeah, I was quite disappointed. It's the first time I'd had that experience of it not being on the roll. So obviously they've done that to save on postage, which I get, but you know, it means it's not nice and pristine. And I'm trying to find the end. Like, where is the end of the ribbon? Oh my gosh, I might have to undo it. Ah, there it is, it's tucked under the twisty tie. Now which one is it? That one? There we go. Well, that was a trick. There it is. So I was wondering about this one, which I kind of like the contrast. The white is a bit, yeah, just can't really tell, can't really see it very well. And also with travelling it could get dirty. So that's another consideration. So I think I'll go with the blue. So now can I pull this through the twisty tie? I don't know quite how much I'll need. So is that dry enough? I think that's dry enough. That's the good thing about that glue, is it dries really quickly. So I might need to go back in and get some of those edges, but I will do that off camera because you get the idea. Just clean off my glue. And I'm going to use my crocodile for doing the closure. And this is the other birthday present that my hubby bought me. Early birthday present, which is super wonderful. I wanted one for ages. I do have trouble opening the container, which I think is partly due to the arthritis in my fingers, and sometimes it like opens no problem, and then other days it's like, oh my goodness, like getting into Fort Knox. There we go, got in. You did not defeat me, tool. Right, so I'm thinking a white eyelet for this. So I haven't even taken the eyelets out of the bag because yeah, I don't want to lose any with trying to wrestle open the container and then they go poof. I don't want to be picking them up and then possibly losing. Right, so I need to decide whether I'm going to do 2 eyelets or 1 and do a wraparound. I definitely will need 1 in the back whichever way I go. So I'm just going to rule this just because normally I eyeball it, but today I am ruling it. So we've got 9 inches, so 4.5 is about there, and I need to make sure I'm not punching through the stitching. Right, so the top is that way round. So good thing I glued that envelope over far, mini envelope over far enough. Right, punching the hole like so. So I've heard some people say these are hard to use and confusing to use, but I haven't found it that way. You do have to sit there with the instructions and look at it and work it out and have a play. But, you know, you have to do that with a lot of things. Even a new phone, you've got to sit and work it out. So, put one, and now I'm clamping the eyelet, hopefully in frame. There we go. So, sorry about that. Grab this out. Oops, that's actually slightly over that envelope, so I'm just going to lift the envelope out and close it over top of the eyelet. There we go. That's good as gold. Right, so my option is, I'm just going to snip that off. It could be too long or too short, but I need to be able to play with it. And it's not a problem if it's too long. Oops. Just trying to even up the corner ends a little bit, and one of them's, the first end was frayed, so just trim that off a little bit. So I could do this, just loop it through, and then just have a wraparound style, like so. Or do I want to do another eyelet that then ties at the side, the 2 halves tied at the side? I think I like the wraparound. I'm not sure what the person it's for will prefer. I do have a charm I could put on the end of that. Is that going to make it too heavy? Oops. Just dropping tiny little charms. Got this camera. There's a little bit of weight to it, but it's not too bad. I've actually got a big container. Well, when I say big, it's like twice the size of that, of charms, but I can't find it, and it's annoying me because there's lots and lots of different charms in it. So I could pop this on here. Oh, that could be tricky to get it through that wee hole. I know, not too bad. If I tie it through there, then yeah, I like that. I'm going to put that charm on there. So I'm going to tie. The reason I like this style is that as the journal grows and gets stuffed with things, you just don't wrap the ribbon around as many times. So it works quite well. So I'm just going to knot that on there. Ooh, I feel all kick-handed. we go, and so that then can just be tucked in under to keep it closed. So there we go, and I can get this off my desk now, and I'll put it away soon. So there's the crocodile, and pops away in its wee case, which is just like this. So you can buy the crocodile, just the tool itself and then the eyelets separately, or you can buy the storage case, which then comes with some eyelets. And to be honest, I think it's a much better deal if you buy it as a package. And who doesn't like a wee case that just holds everything together? So when you're looking for your supplies, it's like, there it is, it's that case. And I think it comes in 2 colours. I think it comes in teal and pink. I think, yeah, don't quote me on that. Right, so what else have we got? Anything else that I wanted to do? So I've done the closure, I've done the lace. Okay, I'm just going to have a quick flip through, see whether I want to add any more decorations. I think it's come up quite nicely. Oh, I did want to do some stamping, that's right. So I will grab out my stamps in a moment. Actually, I might as well do it now. That one, sorry, I'm just going to have to bring over my bag of stamps and have a look through the one that I'm after. Please excuse me. Gosh, it might not even be in this bag, it might be in a different bag. Just use that one. I think it's it's actually in my box of stamps, I think, which is on the other side of the room. So we will just work with what I've got here. I need to do something about my stamps. I find it very hard in the small space that I've got working and trying to find what I've got. And so I've got stamps behind me that I think I use mostly, but this one I haven't used very much at all. But yeah, then there's always like, well, the rest of my stamps, I want to use those, but I've got nowhere to put them, and then it's awkward to get into them when I do bring them over. Right, I pulled this one out because it's got a cat up here. Has it got any other cats? No, just the one cat. That's fine. It's a little cartoony cat, super cute, sleeping as cats do, sleep a lot. So now I want to find a place to stamp the little pussycat. Where do I want the little pussycat? I think maybe down on this page would be cute. Do I want top or bottom? And I'm going to just put this pad of scrapbooking paper in behind, just to give it a better surface to stamp on. I think I like him down the bottom. And a black stamp pad. Need to re-ink this. Yeah, what are we, sweetie? Yeah, isn't that cute? Cute, cute, cute. Just stamping off the excess ink. That still needs a wipe. Right, so put him away soon. Okay. Got this little postcard stamp, which could be quite fun somewhere, and you can write inside it as well, so that's really good decoration. That's also can be functional too. Find a place for that one. Whoops. popping it on the block straight actually helps you stamp it straight, in my experience. If I put it crooked, then my chances of actually stamping it straight are much reduced. Since we put the cat on this paper on the other side, maybe we'll put the postcard here. Now, do I want it on the side? Sideways? No, I think I just want it straight, and it's easier to write on. So, what are your weekend plans? I've talked about my weekend. You up to anything exciting? If my head gets in this, I'm sorry. I'm also trying filming with the face of my camera, face of my phone facing downwards. So I was just having a peep to see whether my head was in the camera, but of course I pulled my head back to look. But with my other camera, I couldn't do the face of the phone down because it filmed everything back to front. So I did a little test this morning to see whether this one does that as well, and super happy to find it doesn't. I just thought it might give me better control to see what's happening in the video as to whether I've been off camera, or easy to access the buttons for recording and pausing and things like that. So many reasons already to love this new phone. Thank you, my darling husband. I think I'll keep you. Of course I know I'll keep him. Right, that one. Right, do I want any of those others? Some of them I have used. Maybe the film strip. The film strip could be fun headed somewhere. This is one I have until recently wasn't really using. I'm not quite sure why. I need my longer block for this though. That other one's a bit short. Right, and where do we want the film strip? I don't want to do it on this wrapping paper because it's shiny. I don't want it to smear. So I'm looking for places that don't necessarily have any other thing going on. Could put it up there again, that grease spot or whatever it is, there's a little bit on that side. So if I stamp it there, do I want to do that or do I want to do it across? I think I'm going to do it across there, so that's where that darker spot is, and it provides a break in the writing space, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think it adds interest as well, and you can even use it for different sections of the same day or different days. Whoops, sorry, I almost hit the camera with my head then, trying to see that I was stamping it in the right place. So anyway, I was asking, what are your plans for the weekend? Are you going somewhere? Are you going to have a day at home, maybe doing some craft or doing the dreaded cleaning? I don't know how many crafters actually like cleaning. Oops, that didn't stamp very well, but that's okay. We're going to just live with that. I could cover it over, stick something over top of it, stamp it separately and put it over top. But I think it just adds texture and you can still tell what it is. I'm just wondering whether to do a second one. Oh, it shows through this paper too. That's okay. Yeah, so things don't have to be perfect. Oops, I was going to put the stamps away later off camera, but never mind. And I've also got these stamps here, which I almost forgot about. These little word stamps, which I've never used, and from the set. So I am going to use them because they're quite appropriate for a travel journal. So this one says Discoveries. And I'm actually going to do it inside the film strip. So I'm just going to slide this back under again. And just give time for the ink to soak in. There we go, that one's stamped fine. So Discoveries, and then there's one called Voyage, that says Voyage. Oops, stay on the block stamp. Oh, no, it doesn't want to stay. This is the one that fell out of this packet and has been sat on my desk for a while, so it might have lost its ability to stick to the block. Please stay on. Oops, I've got a bit of ink on my block. There we go. Stay on there long enough to do your job and not drop off and leave marks somewhere. There. Perfect. Thank you, little stamp. Right, that's cute. I like that. So even just adding that takes away from the fact that it's not a perfect stamp and makes it work better. Okay, where else do I want something? This is probably going to be a super long video, which will be a test for my new phone. So maybe here. What have we got? Suitcase. Definitely want to include the suitcase. And these are just predominantly cheap stamp sets I've picked up from China. So won't be linking them or anything. You'll just have to go searching. Travel themed, I think, or postage themed. The other one is sort of a mix of travel and post. Do I want it? No, I want it, yeah. Yeah, so you just go searching and see what you can find. And I've also had them for quite a while, so they may not be available anymore. Say that with a lot of my things, don't I? It's because I haven't bought much for a good year or more. And I've just recently been buying a few more things, but I've been buying digital things rather than physical products. Mainly. There's a few exceptions. I thought I'd bought something from AliExpress recently and they have taken the money, but there's no record of the purchase. There's no record of anything having been sent. I was super disappointed when I went to check on it because it's been about a month since I ordered it. And I was like, what's going on? And I couldn't find any record of it. So I was like, did I order it? And then I went and checked my bank account. Sure enough, the money's gone. But it was only 2 cents with free postage. So I'm not going to bother chasing it down for 2 cents. I do think it's rude and possibly how they like to bolster their income, 2 cents at a time. You know, that adds up over a couple of million people. But I just can't be bothered fighting it. And they probably rely on that as well. But yeah. Cheeky blighters. You do have to watch. Keep an eye on things. Right. I'm tempted to do the suitcase again. I think it's a really lovely stamp. Stamps well. But doing it in a different colour. So I might do it on this side of that same paper. On the opposite side, but do it in a colour. What colour do we want, people? Got a lot of blue going on, don't I? So maybe we want blue. Just reaching for my blue. So this one is just a Ranger archival ink in Cobalt. Love these little stamp pads. Often it's all I need. Just a little stamp pad. Right, and pop that one there. And using the different colour just means it looks different. It's not the same, not exactly the same as the other place that I stamped it. So that's super cute, looks really nice in the blue. Oops, my fingers are sticky, everything's sticking to my fingers. Right, and I've got a few more cats, so we might look at popping some more cats around. Oops, if I can pick them up. Could put a cat up here. Yep, I'm going to put a cat there. I've been trying to use up stuff that's in my stash, particularly Happy Mail stuff, because I tend to keep hold of it, put it away because, you know, it's fun and it's new and it's exciting, and I don't want to use it because then it's gone. So just over the last couple of months, inspired by my friend Lydia at February and June, I've been trying to actually work at using this stuff because it's fun to use it too. I mean, how cute. How cute does that look? It looks a lot better than sitting in a random container unseen forever and a day. Right, so there's the little tuck with the suitcases. Do I want something on the back of this? I could go on this page. Actually, I like it on there because that page hasn't got anything. Oops, sorry, totally off camera then. Oh, my stomach is going grrr. Must be the cold weather. Feeling hungrier than normal. Although it is getting close to lunchtime too. It's 11:30 at the moment. I have no idea how long I've been filming for. So I hope you like long videos. You can always feel free to stop them at any point. Okay, I still need to decide what to do here. I think actually I'm just going to tie a bow. Like that. Trim that off. And maybe this wee cat. This is the last wee cat. And I've got this word sunset that I cut off the scrapbook page the other day. I feel like I want him sitting on something. I've got this fabric word or quote or words, whatever you call it. Maybe I sit the cat on top of that. That's cute. I do like that. Yes, 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 yes. So hopefully these things are really fun for the person to find and look at as she's travelling and using the journal, and afterwards when revisiting the memories. Right. I'm just going to bring that down, give plenty of space to fit the cat in above, although it's not a big cat. But, you know, it's nice to provide some air around elements. And back to my tacky glue for the pussycat. Oh, I do like that. That's cute. Very cute. It's not quite straight, but I don't mind. That'll be fine. What's the saying? A blind man would be pleased to see it. Okay, so I think, apart from this weird sunset, which, do you want to just pop it there? I'm just going to pop it there actually, just so it's not running around my desk, getting lost. Just going to pop it down. The sunsets in the islands are super beautiful, so I'm sure she'll enjoy more than a few. Right, I think I am going to call that complete. So let's just have a quick flip through, make sure. I'm just giving myself a little bit of room here. I haven't put anything on the cover, but I don't want to weigh it down, so I'm going to leave it quite clean. The only thing I will add after this is probably a little like book plate, this book belongs to type thing. So this will be the last time you see this journal. So we've got this cover sewn around the edges with some lace on the spine, full of lots of writing space and places to tuck things. There's a pocket, a double pocket here, so in here and in here, a flip with a quote on the back, some tuck strips here and a pocket down the bottom, this nice big tall pocket with a fold out bit of paper for journaling on, lots and lots of writing space, some stamping, a corner up tuck up here. Those cats do look cool. There's our wee cartoon cat. Another wee tuck down here from our bags. And a pocket here. And then a pocket over here as well. Don't they just look cute, the cat silhouettes? And then there's a pocket here and a flip with writing space. And then there's a tuck over here. And then on the other side, there's a tuck over here. Then we've got this envelope flip with spaces to tuck things. Oops, sorry about that. That's my alarm just going off to tell me it's time to take my calcium supplement. So, tuck in there and writing space on there as well. Sorry, Mr. Fishy. I'm sorry I covered your face. And then we've got our pocket here, and I am just going to leave that little journaling card in there. And have we glued this? No, it's actually, oops, don't lose my card up there. Still open on that side. And then we've got a pocket here. And then is it still open? Oh, look at that. Still open on the back as well. And we've got this belly band to put something tall in. Lots more writing space. Then this big tall pocket. And then the side tuck on this side. More writing space. And then our little envelopes with the message inside for the owner. So that is complete. I hope she really enjoys using it, and I can't wait to give it to her. That's going to be fun. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me create this journal. That was a commission for a lovely lady, and I will call it quits there. If you stayed with me for the entire video, thank you so much. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up or a comment. Let me know that you're out there. I'd much appreciate it. Okay, I shall see you in the next video. Stay warm. Bye.